Good morning, friends. Welcome to my channel. Today start Salesforce triggers interlevel questions. So very important video. Start the questions. First questions. Explain triggers frameworks you work on. Triggers handler pattern. Triggers frameworks using the virtual class. Triggers frameworks using the interface. Architectures frameworks to the handle triggers. I have worked on the triggers handler pattern. The basic idea behind the triggers handlers patterns is to separate the triggers logic into a separate class from the triggers itself. The triggers class is responsible for the resisting the triggers with the appropriate appropriate event and for delighting the actual logic to the handler class. Next questions. How to avoid the equations to in triggers? Use static the boolean variables. Use static set of the store records ID. Use static map. Use old map. Follow best practice for the triggers. Next questions. What is the best practice for the triggers in Salesforce? On triggers pure object logic lays triggers context specific the handler methods. Bulkify the codes, avoid SOQL queries using the collection and efficient for the loop. Queries large dataset using the future. Avoid the hard coding the ID. Next questions. What are the type of the triggers? Before triggers are used to the perform the logic on the same object, and specifically we cannot use the DML operation insert, update, delete, and this triggers. This is a separate file the before and data saved into the database. After triggers are used to the perform the logic and related object. These are fire the when the records get saved to the database but not committed. Next questions. What are the triggers event? Triggers event are the database activity that case the triggers to run, insert, update, delete, and undelete. Therefore, in conjunction with the type of the triggers, we can have the following the below the triggers event. Triggers event before insert, after insert, before update, after update. Next questions. How do you use content variable in Salesforce triggers? Content variable in the Salesforce triggers provide the information about the state of the records. Triggers new a list of the new version of the records being the insert or updated. Triggers old a list of the old version of the records being the updated. Delete triggers new map of ID to the new version of the records. Triggers old map of ID to the old version of the records. Triggers insert. Triggers is update. Triggers is update is delete and triggers undelete balloons value that is indicate the type of the DML option. Next question. What is the type purpose of the triggers new and triggers old in Salesforce? Triggers new and triggers old are the content variable used in the Salesforce triggers to the access the records invalid in the TML operation. Triggers new contain a list of the new version of the records that are the being the insert or updated. Thank you, friends. Very important video. Salesforce triggers topic related intro questions. So helpful the intro questions. Please subscribe, like, and share the my YouTube channels. Thank you. Bye. Take care, friends.